अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सभी खैरियत से होंगे और वीडियोस को भी पसंद कर रहे होंगे। चलते हैं आज की वीडियो की तरफ। द ओरिजिन ऑफ द स्पीशीज कन्विंस्ड मोस्ट बायोलॉजिस्ट दैट स्पीशीज आर प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द एवोल्यूशन। An important turning point for evolutionary theory was the birth of population genetics, which emphasizes the extensive genetic variation within the population and recognized the importance of the quantitative characters. With progress in the population genetics in the 1930s, Mendelism and Darwinism was reconciled and the genetic basis of the variation and the natural selection was worked out. Thus, the comprehensive theory of the evolution that comes as the modern senses are renewed Darwinism was developed in the early 1940s. It's called a census because it is integrated the discoveries and the idea from many different fields, including the paleontology, taxonomy, biography of the course and population genetics. अब हम बात करते हैं evidence of the evolution. Evolution leaves observable sign. Darwin leaves of the theory of the evolution was mainly based on the evidence from the geographical distribution of the species and from the fossil record. However, there have been evidences as biological progress. New discovery continue to validate the evolutionary view of the life. Let us discuss now some of the evidences. Let's talk about the biography. Biogeography. It was the geographical distribution of the species biogeography that first suggested the idea of the evolution to Darwin. Islands have been species of the plants and animals. They are endemic but closely related to the species of the nearest mainland and neighboring island. Considered animals, the among mammals that live only in the America. The evolutionary view of the biogeography predict that contemporary mammals are modified of earlier species that occupied these continents, and the fossil record confirmed that such ancestors exist. Then हम बात कर लेते हैं fossil record की. The succession of the fossil form is a strong evidence in favor of evolution. It provides a visual record in the complete series showing the evolution and organism. For instance, evidence from the biochemistry, molecular biology, and the cell biology place prokaryotes as the ancestor of the life. The predicts that bacteria should precede all eukaryotes as the ancestor of all life and predicts that bacteria should precede all eukaryotic life in the fossil record. Indeed, the oldest known fossils are prokaryotes, another example in the chronological appearance of the different class of the vertebra animal in the fossil record. The fossil fishes the earliest vertebra with the amphibians, next followed by reptiles, then mammals and the birds. The sequence is consistent with the history of the vertebra descent. The evolution of the horse provide an example of such a history. Fossils are either the actual remains or the traces of the animals, traces of the organism that lived in the ancient geological times. The organism may be embedded in the sand, design or ice, or an impression or the cast is made of the body parts. The tissue being replaced are petrified by the silica or calcium carbonate minerals. Most fossils are found in the sedimentary rocks. Comparative anatomy. Anatomical similarities between the species grouped in the same taxonomic category bring another support to the theory of the descent with the modification. For example, the same skeleton element make up the five limbs of the human, cats, whales, bats, and all other mammals. Although these appendages have very different function, the basic similarity of these four limbs is the consequence of the mammals from a common ancestor. The aim, wings, flippers, and the four legs of the different mammals have variation on a common anatomical theme but has been modified of divergent functions. Similarly, in the characteristic resulting from the common ancestry is known as homology, such as the anatomical signs of the evolution are called homologous structures. Comparative anatomy support that the evolution is remodeling process in which the ancestral structure that functioned in one capacity become modified as the tail on new functions. The flower part of the flowering plant are homologous. They are considered to have evolved from the leaf from sepals, petals, stems and carpels. अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो ज़रूर बताइएगा। अल्लाह हाफिज़।